Hey everyone, how you doing today? We are back with Matt, the lumberjack landlord, and what we're going to talk about here is buyer or investor fatigue. I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm starting to hear people around me kind of getting a little frustrated with what's going on in the real estate market. What are you seeing? What are you hearing?
Yes, all of the above. Yeah,
In
it's
video.
happening. Yeah. Yeah. And Mike, we just did it in 90 seconds.
There you go.
Congratulations to us. Yeah,
Yoo-hoo.
I'm seeing it across the board. I mean, I looked at a deal this morning, in my 15 minutes of homework that I do every single day in the market. I do a
There
little
you
bit in
go.
the morning and a little bit at night. And just to see what changed over the course of the day and what might
Mhm.
have gone under agreement. And I
Yep.
look at it this morning and there's a house that just went up for sale. It's $550,000 and it's a fourplex
Hmm.
and their monthly rents are $3,200 a month.
Wow, that's healthy. That's
Yep.
that's a that's a
Yeah.
that's a that's an that's that sounds expensive.
I want to find whoever buys it, and I'm just going to follow every purchase they make for the next 3 years because I know what
Exactly.
my
Wait for
next
the
list of
NOD.
foreclosures is I'm going to be purchasing is.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of things going on in my market. And again, I just did so again, if you're on my channel, you saw that I did a walkthrough video. I think it was last
Yeah.
Monday.
Yep.
And we listed a property Friday. We had open house Sunday. We had like 42 people come through. We had
Oh,
8 offers.
yes.
So we
Was I
listed it.
right?
Yeah, you were. Yeah, listed it at 280. We had an all cash offer at 275. Every other offer
Oh,
was 290 or above. We accepted 304. 304, and they will pay 8K over appraisal. Because I think it has, my gut tells me it'll appraise for 290, 292,
yep.
somewhere in there. So
Yep.
we may not see 304, but they actually brought in the most over appraisal. So that's why we accepted that one. So,
Mike, we talked about this last Friday on my channel,
mhm,
and I said I believe you get over 300
mhm.
and you'd have, whatever, 20, 30 plus people. I mean, it's guys, this market has become very predictable right
Yeah.
now in
Yeah.
this way. And Mike, one of the things was, so we actually did a special on 3 things that agents should be doing.
Yep.
And in order to get that house, some are actually dumb enough to waive appraisals. And yeah, I said it, dumb enough to waive appraisals, because then you're still locked in and you got to buy or you
Mhm.
lose your deposit, period, end of story.
Yep.
So the way that you did it, it sounds like what you put in your contract was one of those cash deltas,
Mhm.
i.e., you have to pay up to $8,000
Yep.
more than the appraisal up to the 305 price
Yep.
or 304 price.
304. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, love
Exactly.
that.
Yep.
Love that.
Yeah, so we shall see, and we accepted a backup. The backup was the second, because again, for me, I don't think it appraises at 304. It
Yeah.
In this world, who knows? But that
Yep.
wasn't the thing, right? It was the next guaranteed number, right? The property's going to appraise what the property's going to appraise for. So the
Sure.
next one we accepted was 5 grand over appraisal. So
Yeah.
I think it was 295 with the 5K kicker. So again, I think we see 295, right?
Yeah.
Because again, I think it appraises 290. So in this case, the first offer will be 298. If they back out, we'll get 295. Um, but really where this is going is you really got a sense, because I talked to my agent as they were leaving and the next morning, that buyers, and again, one cash, 5 HFA, 2 conventional, and
Was the high one an FHA or conventional?
FHA,
And the next one down, FHA?
conventional, no conventional.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you picked, so even though it was a greater number, and so you picked FHA.
Mhm. And
Okay.
because I remodeled everything and I've already done the home inspection and the roof inspection and all the other work. So,
Mike, we should talk about that, right? Because on the FHA side, they are known for being far more aggressive.
mhm,
The question is that did you purchase this property in the last year?
I have. Yep.
Okay. So they're going to have to do a double FHA appraisal.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
we would have held it for more than 90 days by the time this closes. So there is that 91 day, issue. So we'll
Yep.
see. We'll see where it comes out.
Can we talk about that just for a second? Because I
Yeah.
think that most people don't know probably what we just said. And that's
Mhm,
some real inside baseball stuff that is really painful if you don't know it going in.
mhm.
So what Mike was just talking about is the concept in FHA that says they basically wanted to stop flipping, right?
Yes, they did.
And the problem is that It's people like us when we decide to do a flip that we do it well and we give people a nice home to move into, that the rest shouldn't matter, frankly.
You
It
would think.
really should be about putting good product on the market for the next family to be able to purchase it, because in the state that it was in, FHA wasn't going to approve it anyway,
No bank would have
right?
approved what I just bought. No.
Exactly. They'd be like, yep, you have to be all cash. Oh, well, I don't have, that much money in all cash. Right. So guys like us have to go in, we have to make the gamble, put our money where our mouth is, do the work, because we've done this long enough to know that we can get a return on that. Now, that being said, you have to hold it for more than 90 days in order to be able to close, because that's an FHA rule. And the second FHA rule is that if you're buying a house that has been purchased within the last year, it doesn't require one appraisal, it requires two. And the crazy thing is that rule existed. That rule came about when mortgage brokers used to order their own appraisals, which now doesn't happen. It's been outlawed.
Yeah.
You have to call the group and say, hey, there's this purchase that's coming. And then they put it out to the field of appraisers that they have certified. And it comes back to them and says, hey, this is what the value is. But now they have to do that 2x.
Yeah.
So it's just more cost to it. So very interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to go through this. And then the last thing I have to say is I have no inventory at this point. That was the last thing I had in inventory. It's tough out there.
Yeah.
And I just want investors to realize that I'm actually seeing the market already change. Stuff is still going fast, but I'm starting to see junk come on. Like there was a 2-house deal in a part of the market that's, kind of middle of the road that came out that actually lasted like 48 hours. I was like, oh, interesting. That one took a while. Was the agent on vacation? What happened?
They couldn't get in for showings.
Yeah, they couldn't get in for showings. But again, they're starting to see more inventory. I am starting to see some frustrated landlords list because they're fearing tax changes.
Yes.
Like this is just an interesting time. What I wanted to just tell investors and buyers, now's not the time to get discouraged.
No.
Because the summer is almost here. We're standing in the light. And, if you're an owner occupant, you're going to want to sell because you want to upgrade. And if you're an investor, stay ready because there will be deals that just pop up from people that are nervous from all the tax changes. So please keep at it. Daily execution. It's only 15 or 20 minutes. I'm seeing opportunities, but it's only because I look every day.
Yeah. The last 3 off-market deals I was brought in the last, I'd say those 3 deals came in the last 2 weeks. The tenure of ownership, 18, 26, and 44 years.
That is exactly what I'm thinking. It's
Right?
the people that have owned it a decade or more. They're
right.
like, well, I got to, I talked to a couple of them earlier this week. They've owned it for 20 years plus. And they're like, Michael, I mean, the last year was horrible, right?
Yeah.
All this freaking eviction and Newsom and all this crazy nonsense that's not supposed to be, going against the US Constitution.
Sure.
Small things like that just pissed off. And now you've got, Biden coming after them and they're like, we were going to retire. I'm like, well, you know what? Let's do some seller financing. Let's figure out your income situation. Let's
That's right.
Your accountant. Let's structure these payments that's good for you and good for us. So I look forward to picking up lots of long-term holds, right? These won't be properties I flip because I'll even put in a 5 or a 10-year penalty because I want them to be comfortable with me.
Yep.
And I'm going to scoop up hundreds of thousands in equity because they don't really care, right? They want the income.
Yep.
And it's going to be a good time, but it's going to take listening and having some conversations.
Yeah. On that 18-year one, we had that exact conversation. He's like, so I would basically hold the paper. And I was like, yep. And you'd have a new monthly income of an additional $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
He's like, you can do that. And I go, absolutely. We can do that. I said, listen, I am here. I'm a genie outside the bottle.
Exactly.
So whichever way you want to do it, if you want me to buy it outright, but then you have this huge tax liability, if you, whatever you want to do, if you want to do subject to, if you want to do seller financing, whatever you want to do, we're flexible.
Yeah. I just want to help you. That's the attitude to take. And again, seller financing all starts with you shutting up and listening, frankly, right? You, the buyer, just listen to what they have to say. So
that's right.
Very cool. I look forward to topic number 3, the greatest tax we all pay. That should be a fun conversation.
Who doesn't love talking about taxes?
Yeah.